the intern queen. She said, call me the intern queen.
Heyo, welcome to Twitter Questions, the favorite, longest Intern Queen YouTube channel series that we have. So welcome back, guys. You know this is one of my favorite videos because I get to answer your questions from Twitter. So if you don't follow me now at Intern Queen. We'll put it right up here for you. At Intern Queen, and feel free to ask me questions whenever. We're always on Twitter, so I love seeing your questions and actually getting the chance to interact with all of you and seeing it. And yes, as promised, we will do a fun giveaway right at the end of this video. So in pure Intern Queen Twitter question fashion, we have just logged on. Just a second ago, I wrote Twitter questions, ask me now, ready, set, go. And now we're gonna see what comes in. All right, everybody, we got our first question in. I'm so excited. Let's see. Okay, our first question comes from Cindy 00000. All right, Cindy says, Lauren, I applied for an internship last week. When do I follow up? Great question. You applied for an internship. When do you follow up? So here's the deal with follow up. You do have to follow up, right? It's something that I always recommend that you do. But first you need to read that specific internship posting and you need to see if there's a deadline listed. If there is a deadline listed on the internship posting, then you don't want to follow up until after that date. So if you're reading the internship and it says our summer 2017 internship deadline is November 1st, 2016, then you wouldn't want to follow up until after November 1st. You can definitely follow up and you can just email the internship coordinator and you can say something like, you know, hi Sarah, I applied for this internship on, you want to make sure you track that specific date. So I applied for this internship on September 5th. I just wanted to follow up and make sure that you got my materials. I'm really excited about this position. Let me know if there's anything else that I can send, okay? So you want to follow up after the deadline date. Now, if in that internship listing they say, we're going to notify all of the interns that got the position on December 1st, then okay, you know the time frame. Can you still follow up? Sure. It's always nice to confirm that people received your materials, but again, you're going to know after December 1st. Now, if you don't know who to follow up with, which I get that question all the time, you know, what do? Well, you don't have very many choices, but one thing you can do is you can go to LinkedIn. Now, I did a video recently on LinkedIn tips. I'm going to make sure to link that here, but you're going to look for a contact who went to your college or university and works at the company that you're trying to work for, okay? So again, you want to network and connect because you want to try to find an advocate for yourself at that company. Let's get back to Twitter. Oh, we have another question in. Okay, this one is from Sydney F5Z12. Okay, all right, Sydney says, hi Lauren, when is the best time to start interning? Sydney, that is a great question. Thank you for asking. I actually just spoke at a high school conference a couple of days ago, and a lot of the high schoolers were asking that question. Here's the deal. It is very popular for high schoolers to get internships now. A lot of them can get AP credit for doing internships. Do you have to intern in high school? No. I think the best thing you can do in high school is just start thinking about the steps that you want to take once you get to college to get closer to that dream job. If you have a great internship opportunity, if there's an internship coordinator at your high school, great. By all means, take advantage of it if that interests you, but you don't need to do the internship in high school. I recommend that everybody has their first internship by their sophomore year of college, okay? It's getting more and more competitive out there, so get that first internship that sophomore year of college. Great question. Nikki Kirshner asks, when should I move the education section from the top to the bottom of my resume? That's a great question. You know, I don't think you need to do that for a few years after college. I think that employers that are hiring entry-level candidates, so people that are in their years 1 to 5 of job experience after college, I think those employers like to see where people went to school. Does it have to be a huge blurb? No, not at all. It should just say where you went to school, when you graduated, and maybe what your major was. But other than that, I think it's fine to leave it up there for about 5 years after graduation, and then you can start to move it down to the bottom once you've had, you know, some more mid-level or senior level career experience. Another question from Letitia Higgins. She says, I'm interested in international business. I know Korean. How do I find companies in South Korea to work for? I know a little bit of Korean, but I can't say it well. 안녕하세요. Anyways, great question, Latoya. So first of all, congratulations to you for knowing a different language. I think that's amazing. And I think the best way to do it is, honestly, I'd go to LinkedIn, right? Because on LinkedIn, you can filter in that left-hand column by country. So instead of selecting the United States, you'll select South Korea and just look, look up the different businesses that you're into. And I would use Google to find lists of companies in your field that are based in Korea. So if you're really interested in a marketing position at a Korean fashion brand, Google fashion companies based in Korea, go on LinkedIn, put the name of the company in the top subject line, and then filter by South Korea. And while the people might not be in your first, immediate network, look and see if they're, friends with anybody that you know, or if you're in any similar groups with them. If you can find their LinkedIn profile, but you're not like a match, you can't connect with them, look and see what groups they're a part of on LinkedIn and try to join those groups as well, because networking that way through LinkedIn groups can be really effective. Okay, rapid fire Twitter time, let's go. Jennifer Krim, we love Jennifer. She's always tweeting with us online. She says, I'm a senior and I want to land a job ASAP. What do I do? All right, get your networking hat on, Jennifer. It's time to get on out there. One of my favorite things to do is to look up networking associations, send an email to the president and say, I'm a college senior. I would love to attend your networking event. Would it be okay if I stopped by and got a complimentary pass? Because you're a college student, you don't have enough money to be paying for these big networking events, but a lot of times you can milk that student card and they'll let you in to these big networking events, and those are great places to go to. Another tip is just to make sure that you're planting all of the seeds, right, during your senior year. And what I mean by that is you're circling back to all of your professional connections and you're letting them know that you're going to be graduating soon and you're going to be calling them and you'd love and appreciate any of their help when it comes to landing a job. Okay, another question from Jane. Jane on Twitter wants to know, is it weird to let my internship supervisor know that I'll be a part-time student in the spring? I'd love to come back and help. Hey Jane, no, that's not weird at all. Now I will tell you, I'm the intern queen. Sometimes I'm like the intern police woman as well. You really shouldn't be going back to a company semester after semester. The idea is that as an intern, you're at the company to learn valuable skills. And if you're gonna stay at the company, they really should be paying you. So if you're gonna go back and help out, I think it's okay on a one-off basis. They have an event, they have this. If it's a paid internship, I think that might be okay. But just make sure that you're not being taken advantage of, because everybody loves free help, but you want to make sure that there's actually specific learning initiatives associated with that internship. So I think that's totally fine. Let your internship coordinator know your schedule, let her know you're willing to help, but maybe before you do that, just think about how much you want to help. Do you want to spend all of your spare time back at that internship again? So back at you, Jane, that's something for you to think about. All right, we got another question. This is fun today. So Alex Russell wants to know who to address a cover letter to. He doesn't want to write to whom this may concern, right? Hey Alex, we get it. None of us want to write to whom this may concern either. I think if you can find out the first and last name of the internship coordinator, that is the best thing. Sometimes you can do that by just calling the company and saying, I'm addressing an internship coordinator. Who's the person that I can write the letter to? And you'll be surprised. Sometimes people will give you information. Check the job listing. There might be information there. If it says at the bottom, send to Angie Sutton at whatever.com, then Angie Sutton is probably the name, so I think it's safe to address it to them. To whom this may concern isn't terrible. If you have to use it, fine. You could also put Dear Internship Coordinator, or if someone was emailing us, they could say Dear Intern Queen Team, or to Intern Queen Team. That's fine. Don't worry so much about that intro line. Focus on the content of the cover letter, okay? Because if your cover letter is great, if that cover letter is rock star quality, then I don't care what the first line says. Last time on our Twitter question series, we gave away a copy of my first book, All Work No Pay. So this time, boom, Welcome to the real world. This book, you guys, is the book you need to survive life after college. It is a raw look at what the real world is like and some great practical tips on how to make the most of jobs 1 through 5 after college. So comment on this video. We're gonna be picking our favorite comment. Let's say we'll pick 5 of our favorite comments, and you guys will all get a free copy, and I'll sign it for you too, of Welcome to the Real World in the mail. We really enjoyed this series, so thanks so much, you guys, for asking us questions, and we'll continue to do these soon.